In this episode, we meet up with Reeths-Puffer in Rehearsal and at Sparta's Invitational to ask director Sean Michael Harris and his students about their 2022 program, Urban Playground. They shared some thoughts on the music and visual components of their show and what makes participating in a competitive marching band so unique.
So we choose the music for this program like in the same way that we would any other program. Musical ideas will come up in conversation. It doesn't mean that every show will have a list of songs that all of them have to do necessarily with the program itself. For example, our show is called The Urban Playground. And at the very beginning, we use Gary Jules' Mad World. It doesn't necessarily have playground in the title or anything, but it can kind of portray the emotion or character that we have at the very beginning of the show, a very crazy, mad world that we live in. And then past that, it's with some great music. We're all aware of great tunes out there. We all have our own ideas and things that we played or listened to, so it's just great music can go with any program.
My favorite part of our show so far would have to be the brass and the woodwind features in our first movement because they really showcase smaller band elements with like a bigger band sound, and they also, from a guard perspective, we get to use two different pieces of weapon. On one side you see sabers and one side you see rifles, which isn't something you normally see right next to each other side by side.
This particular year, the same challenge is the thing that I think is a strength. The challenge is this is the youngest group that I've had. I would say a quarter to half of the group is easily freshmen. On the flip side of that, they're the most open to new ideas, and that has made, I think, situations like the dance sequence go pretty smooth because they're really excited to just kind of do and be.
To me, marching band is it's the bridge between regular band and the theater world. You're combining the two, and it's, I think, in my opinion, the perfect performing arts because what you're doing is you're having such a beautiful sound and you're having such beautiful visuals as well, and it creates this perfect environment where you feel like you are truly performing, and instead of just playing an instrument, you are still a performer yourself.
So the uniform with the Urban Playground, when we started talking about ideas, all of our ideas kind of went in the same direction as far as graffiti and very bright colors and things you might see on an overpass. We have very colorful overpasses here in Muskegon, and local artists have done great jobs in really making some areas eye-opening. And in fact, I brought in an artist whose name is Dan Parker, and he painted some of our props based on the ideas that he had with overpasses that he's done around the area. So I wanted to involve someone local and thinking about the local scene, and then transfer that to the uniform tops, which people are going to see from 3 blocks away, so that you just can't miss them. But that's been a great element of our show. There's one particular part of the show that excites me just because it gets the kids more excited. In our third movement, the kids get to dance. And it's something quite different from what we're used to in this program, at least. I've been here 5 years, and we've not tried anything like this. But the first time that we introduced the idea to the students and they started doing things, there were so many smiles and so much excitement in their eyes that, like, that meant a lot. It was like, okay, like, this is something that they're going to take ownership with, and it's a great experience for the audience too, because they're not necessarily expecting it, not only from us, but from any group. This is really different from what folks will see across the state.
The thing about marching band that makes it different from other activities from the school is that we're really a family at marching band because we spend so much time around each other because of how much we practice. It really is like a second home here.
So I'm definitely a little biased, like I'm the bari sax soloist, so definitely like, and duettist actually, so like movement 3 is my favorite. Like it's just this big dubstep style kind of movement where the soprano sax and I just stand on a prop and just vibe for like an entire minute in the show. It's so much fun. And the band like gathers around the props around us, just this giant like dance break sequence, and it looks so cool from the tower.
So I think that one of the best parts about marching band is actually the competition, and competition season is my favorite part of marching band. It's because of competitions you get to go to these environments where you get to see a whole bunch of bands doing the same work that you're doing, and you get to see their concepts for their own shows and see how they've improved and see how they're realizing their own dreams for their show. I think that's the best part of competition season. And the thing I look forward to most is seeing those other groups and seeing the individuals in the other groups. Like at competitions, most of the times, right before an award ceremony, they will have the drum majors all meet together. And that's my favorite part of a competition, because I get to go and I get to meet drum majors from other bands and just realize that they're awesome people who are also directing such an amazing group.
You can catch Reeths-Puffer's program, Urban Playground, at Granville High School on Saturday, October 29th for their invitational. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep up with all things band and orchestra in Michigan, and we'll see you on the field.